Christy Mattoon here from, hang on a second, I forgot to roll the windows up, from Mind Rewire. I am on Highway 287 between Colorado. I actually just think that's a sign right there. Probably welcome to Colorado. I'm leaving Colorado. There's a sign for Wyoming. I'm entering Wyoming. And I was listening to a ton of videos today because I was kind of stranded in Colorado for a minute. But now that I'm on the road again, I'm like processing some of the stuff I was listening to. And this one was a good one. This was like, wow. And forever, battling my own issues and illnesses and, all the stuff that we use to treat these things with. I should turn this around so you can see where I'm driving. All the things that we use to treat these things. And what is it we're treating, right? So you get a disease title. I've talked about this stuff a ton before. You get a disease title. They tell you, you know all the symptoms. You tell them the symptoms. They put you in a box and label it, whatever they label it. And, you go along taking the medication and it doesn't fix it and you get worse and things happen and then you try again. You go somewhere else. You try a different doctor. Maybe you try a naturopath, whatever. And then for the longest time, what we were being told was that inflammation is the underlying of every disease, inflammation. And it made a ton of sense because what goes along with every disease in every place in your body that has the issue that it has, there's inflammation, right? So, but if you've done the healing route and you've really taken it to the depths I have, things like, I'm trying to think of the name of it. They inject you with stuff to cause swelling, like in a joint or a site like that, wherever the issue is. And there's different kinds of this. Prolotherapy, I think, is the one I did. And I think she injected me with like saline, some kind of salt rock or something, or lava rock. It was something weird, but it would agitate the tissue. And then it would cause swelling locally in the site that she injected this. Right? And it was mixed with my blood and some other stuff to help the area heal and whatever. And I don't know that it actually did anything outside of the procedure itself. Was horrifyingly painful because it was into my hip. But the hip wasn't the issue. My leg and my foot and my shoulder were the issue. So anyway, misdiagnosis, prolotherapy was a thing. It was about inflammation. It was about the swelling. So this guy today, what he said was, we've got this wrong. We got this all messed up. He goes, here's how this works. Is everything is a symptom, right? We've talked about that before. Everything is a symptom. No matter what it is you're dealing with, it's a symptom. What caused it, right? It's the cause and effect idea. So what caused your symptom? And so, usually we take it as like, well, there's inflammation. Get rid of the inflammation. You could probably heal the problem. And you heal it for a little while, and then for a lot of people it comes back, whatever happens, right? Whatever the issue is. And so what he said was, what if it's not inflammation? What if inflammation is just another symptom? And because inflammation is so systemic for most people, we just decided that was the thing. That's the underlying. But he goes, let me tell you what the underlying is. No matter what joint, what gland, what organ, whatever it is you're dealing with, if there is inflammation at that site that isn't for the reason of like you broke the bone or you have a cut or something, the site inflamed to heal itself, which is what inflammation does. That's why prolotherapy seeks to inflame things, because it causes space in the area. It puts space in the area. It puts healing fluid in the area, and then you actually you get a chance to heal. So what he's saying is there's something causing the inflammation that we haven't took a deep enough look at. He said what that something was is an infection. So he specifically mentioned thyroid. I'll have to see if I can find this video again. Specifically mentioned thyroid. So if you have a thyroid issue and the area is swelling up, you've got the swelling that occurs with hyperthyroidism and Hashimoto's and all these things, he's suggesting that you have a infection in that area. Maybe in the thyroid, maybe in the tissue around the thyroid, maybe everywhere, right? And I'm just like, And there's some weird infections that people get that are almost unsolvable, right? And I'm trying to think of the name of some. You guys are going to come up with them and type them in the boxes down there faster than I can think of them. But there's a few of them that have even been labeled conspiracies. Those kind of infections, what you're talking, that's not real, right? It's a conspiracy because it's just too weird to even be true. But we know now that those are true, that's real. And if the inflammation is happening because there's an infection, which makes total sense, now it's back to how do you get rid of the problem there? How do you get rid of the thing that's inflaming your system? How do you get rid of the infection? There's the word, infection. How do you get rid of the infection? So antibiotics are not going to do it. You've taken way too many antibiotics, and if that was going to stop these infections, it would have happened by now. Yeah? Didn't happen. It's going to take time, and you have to take something that doesn't cause other issues in your system. And it has to be a big enough dose to make an impact, but a low enough dose that you can sustain doing it for a while. Here's my suggestion. His suggestion, of course, was ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, and just being able to take that and sustain it. If you can get it, do it. If you can't get it, my suggestion is